Hi everybody, it's Kelly, also known on Twitter as KelIn1977. So I am recording Sunday the next day after going to see the movie The Avengers with my husband, and it is 5:48 in the morning. We got back at about 12:10 in the morning. The movie started at 9:30, and the showing for 6:40 was so jam-packed. They had people actually standing in the theater. It's not a large theater. I want to say they maybe can hold 40 to 50 people tops in the theater they chose. They have three of them. It's just a small theater. So I am absolutely tired because my husband went to bed right away, but I went and laid down at 1:45. And again, I've been up since 5:15. That's not much sleep. It's like maybe 3.5 hours if I fell asleep right away, which I didn't. I was trying to unwind and trying to tire myself out a little bit. So we went to Anthony's, and my husband got the dinner special for $20. It was supposed to come with like 3 different types of seafood. It came with like a smaller fish and chips version, but it's probably what they had left over from Friday. They do fish and chips only on Friday. So if they have enough left over, they'll have a special with it. It had clams or something, fried clams, and it was supposed to come with shrimp. So they didn't have the shrimp. So I think they gave some extra fried clams and like French fries to replace that. Since shrimp, like all seafood, is expensive to begin with, they should have probably taken like $2 off of it, since they didn't have everything that they were advertising on the board. That's just me. But my husband, he eats clams, he eats fish, a few handfuls of French fries. For appetizer, we got what they like to call their boneless tender chicken fried with their homemade hot sauce. The hot sauce kind of reminds me of the chicken marinara that you get when you go to cook on the grill, buffalo style. It's a little bit better than that. Homemade, it's their own recipe. So is the tartar sauce that they make is their homemade recipe. Restaurant's been in business 45 years out here. And out here it is in St. Johnsbury, not anywhere else. It's the only family operated business that is actually a sit-down restaurant. So you can come in the morning and get breakfast. They have lunch specials and they have dinner specials. I ended up trying, because they changed the menu, so I ended up trying one of their club sandwiches. It comes with fries. A lot of fries. The sandwich itself I wasn't impressed with. It was supposed to be a roast beef with onion cooked on the grill. There was no onion on it. The tomato was so thin I couldn't see it, and it had one piece of lettuce. That's not a lot. Like, it's a club with 3 pieces of bread. You should have the meat, the cheese, and then you should have, like, the lettuce and tomato, like, that big on the sandwich. I was very disappointed with that because it was $13. Fries were fantastic. They're boneless chicken tenders, which are like these huge pieces of tenders. I know McDonald's used to sell their, what I consider chicken nuggets, and then they used to sell the chicken tenders, which is like a huge, piece of chicken boneless. And it was like you get 2 pieces for like $5 or something. But then when you took it, it would just easily fall apart, and it was all white meat, and so that's what we got for the appetizer. We ended up getting 6 pieces. Depending what time you go and if they're busy, they sometimes give you the 6 pieces, or sometimes you can go and get like 8 or 10. Just depends if they're trying to get rid of it or not. So all the food was fresh and everything. Not saying nothing about that. It's just, you know, a club, you need some veggies on it. And they gave 2 pickles that they pickle, homemade pickles they do themselves. And my husband's dinner also came with their version of coleslaw. He hasn't tried it yet. It was a pretty big portion too. So everything was, it was good. Came to about, it came to $50, and I think we gave an $8 tip, 15%. I mean, she didn't have to do much. She came over, asked us what we wanted to eat, came back over 3 minutes later, we ordered. She gave us our drinks, and then gave us our food, and then came over and took our plates. So $8 not, I guess not a bad profit. She didn't do anything spectacular, like have a conversation or come over. She came over a couple, like I think twice, to see how everything was, but we were there an hour, so, and then, you can definitely tell we're getting ready to actually leave. We're looking at the check, and then she wants to ask if you want dessert. Well, we just looked at the check. Probably not. But you should have did that like 5 minutes ago. So, and it wasn't busy. It was just 3 people there. But they officially close at 9. So at 8 o'clock they stop selling food to the public so that they can start to close down. We got there at 7:45 because I remember this. Because the movie started at 9:30. And then it wasn't raining when we got there. It was raining after we left. So the movie, like I said, is 2.5 hours long. It's actually one of the longest movies I've seen, other than the Twilight movies that were about 3 hours long. I kind of wish they would have had a showing at 9 instead of 9:30, because he wants to drive home at 12 o'clock in the morning. So my husband said his opinion on it, because he can't tell you about it without telling you about the story, is he gives it a 10 out of 10. It was filmed all over the world in 6 different areas. Iceland being one, Philippines being one as an example, New York was one. The characters, there's like 3 sets of characters. Black Panther's in it, the Avengers is in it, Teenage Superman's in it, you got Iron Man in it, you see his girlfriend in it, the Hulk's in it. So these are just a few people. The Guardians of the Galaxy's in it, which I've never heard of before, so that's in it. So, not to give away the story, but at the end, only certain people in general survive, and only certain superheroes will survive. The one was in it. I don't know if he survived, though. They kind of left that mystery, but they left it open to, there's definitely going to be a part 2. I have no doubt that they back-to-back was working on it. Michonne plays in it, from The Walking Dead. She's supposed to be like a side kick to Black Panther. I've never heard of Black Panther, so I didn't go and watch the movie Black Panther. I believe she was in that movie, but I didn't see it because I don't know who he is. I'm not gonna go watch something or character that supposedly was in the comic books that I don't know, because I don't know. I watched X-Men. I know who the Hulk is. I'm pretty sure the Hulk had a girlfriend. I might be getting that confused with something else. I know Iron Man. I know Dawn. I played games with Dawn in it. But I didn't know everybody, so. There's about 3 different sets of couples in it. So they threw a little love into it, and having to sacrifice yourself or your relationship to save mankind, basically. So it was a good movie. I give it 10 out of 10. Side effects are fantastic. If you're going to go watch it, I would go ahead and do the 3D. It's a lot different. Even the, movie premieres are in 3D, which is cool. I've never seen that before. And they have a movie coming out May 25th. It's called Solo Star Wars. And it has, I think it's supposed to be Luke, I think. Or Luke's son, from the last one, Jedi. And I don't know his name, that Bigfoot guy. And this guy's the only one that can understand him. So they're in it. And it's just about them. I don't know where it's supposed to, if it's like the before Star Wars or however they're doing it, but that's what they're doing. I don't think it actually adds on to The Last Jedi movie or anything like that. So the movie theaters went up. It used to be $5 to go see a 2D movie after 5 or after the first playing, and then it used to be $6 for 3D. Their 3D matinees at 3:45 during the week after the first weekend of the showing. And then they had a showing that was only 2D at 6:40. We didn't want to see the 2D, we wanted to see the 3D, which was at 9:30. So we had to go ahead and pay the $6.50 that's now to go see a movie. If it's 2D or 3D, 2D is $6.50, 3D is now $7.50. So they've gone up $1.50 on the movies. Which I don't mind, but they have advertisements. They have about 15 different companies who pay them a monthly fee to have their advertisement to help lower prices and stuff. There is no need for prices to go up because minimum wage has not gone up. Food has not gone up. And it hasn't gone down, but it hasn't gone up. And, cost of living has not gone up. So there's no need for them to raise their prices. Just to try and get more money because now it's going into May and colleges are starting to get out between May 7th and May 17th. So this is when students have more time. They're going to go see the movies. There's supposed to be really good ones this summer. I understand they're trying to make money, but no. To go to people, I live two houses down from the movie theater. That was $15 to go see the movies, and then if we were to go ahead and just get one large popcorn and share one large drink, it comes to about $15. Do the math. That's over $30 to go to the movies. Okay. For me, that's expensive. Popcorn does not cost a lot to make. It shouldn't be that much money. It's $5.50 for a large drink. And then they get mad when you ask for no ice. Well, $5.50. It's only a 40 ounce. I can go to the dollar store and get a 3-liter bottle for $1. I'm sorry about that, my allergies. You're absolutely making a profit of at least $4 off the soda. So I just think that's ridiculous. Or if they should at least have a combo where a large popcorn, a large drink, instead of $15, it would be like 10 or something. Got a little discount. And then, they sell posters. They want $10 for a poster. Now they got a book they're trying to sell for $9. And John Wayne. And so I said, oh, babe, look, they're selling a book. Supposedly they say if you get it from online, like eBay, it's going to be $40. And then they advertise, but we're selling it for $9 with no shipping fees. And then the owner's like, oh, it's a really good book. It's really thick. You should get it. You should get it. We just spent $15. We're good. Seriously. So, yeah. But we had a good night. We really haven't, because I haven't been feeling good. My bone disease, and in the wintertime, I get extra tired, and I gotta force myself to do schoolwork. and I've been burnt out since at least week 7. This is week 14. Next Tuesday is my last week. So just trying to push through. Today's Sunday, so I have today and tomorrow to get a lab done, an assignment, my bio class. I just have to keep looking in my English class to keep up with replies or comments, and then I have some questions that was in my presentation that I said I would answer on April 30th, which is Monday, tomorrow. So I have to make sure by like 9 o'clock I do that to give people time on Monday, if they're going to come back and look at my answers, that they have the time to do that. My teacher did not say I did a bad job. She didn't say I did a good job. She didn't ask me any questions, which is really good. I know with postings, if we're not very thoroughly clear, they will ask 1 or 2 questions, or if they feel like it's so simple and to the point, we didn't leave anything for a discussion, they'll try to pull one. And if that does happen, you usually don't get an A. Usually you get like an 85 or something like that. The only thing that she wanted to talk about, because I did miss the quad system, or miss of the lore system in general, and I have 6 different myths I came across, and I get a definition like, is it true that you can't get charged for double jeopardy? There were things like that. At the end, it was a myth, which is a myth. So it was a statement, not a question, and it said something on the lines of more African American get accused of crimes that they didn't commit. It was supposed to be like it was written as a statement instead of a question. But I copied and pasted from the site what I picked from 10 of them. I picked 6 that I thought was interesting. So that's one of them at the end. And then my teacher wants to go on about this. Well, the Stevens book wasn't talking just about African Americans. He was talking about everything. He was talking about disabled females and females in general and poor people. All right, every single case that Stevens talked about, people being on death row that he was trying to help, he had about, I didn't get through the whole book. It was just way too long for me, and then having to stop and go back so I could quote, because I had an audio listen to it, because I have 3 different forms of dyslexia. It actually took me longer to even get through 6 chapters than it would for anybody else just to sit there and read it. And it was 16 chapters altogether, so I did get through the first 6. And that just gave me like what they were really talking about. Because the last 4 chapters, he started to talk about changing the laws and what he had to do to just make the laws better in Alabama for African American people who just happen to be the ones who are disabled or female or poor or not well educated. I don't remember them ever, or a student in my class ever mentioning anything about whether this person had post-traumatic stress disorder or bipolar or anything like that. So it had nothing to do with a mental illness at all, any of the cases that he chose to write about. And I mean, Brian, who is African American, did have a white roommate, Caucasian roommate. That's fantastic, but the roommate really had nothing to do with nothing other than he had a Caucasian roommate, and they got along great. It was about, or just happened to be about, African American people on death row for a crime they said they never committed at all. So I don't know where she got, why would that was a big thing. I don't know. And then she wanted me to pay $2.99 to watch a documentary on Netflix about, I guess not about race, but about, being poor, uneducated, being disabled, being a female. So, I don't know, but the book was mainly, the idea of the book did talk about racism in general. And it had two cases where a Caucasian woman was with an African American man, and when people in Alabama found out, one girl had tomatoes thrown at her, hard-boiled eggs, rocks, because they said she was, the words that they were using. And another woman was married, but it wasn't the fact that she was married, it was the fact that she chose to sleep with an African American man instead of being with her husband. And she got like 6 months probation for like, breaking her marriage vows. And the guy involved went to jail for 2 years for it. And then he comes out, and 6 months later, they get him for a murder he never did. Just because the Caucasian guy they were talking about, that's the first name that came to light, Walter. So he said, no, Walter did it. Walter, that guy that slept with that white woman, he's the one that did it. I saw him. I swear, I know it was him. So, yeah. That's prejudiced. I don't care what anybody says. Of race, not because he was a poor, uneducated black man. Or man in general. So, yeah. So I've been recording for about 21 minutes. Long enough. I have one question that I was asked on my last video of yesterday, me all done up when I was my makeup and everything, and I was dressed. I did a vlog of what I look like. So if you want to go watch that. So I have one question so far, which was an interesting one because this person is a YouTuber, and I guess just came across my video, which is cool. So please, can you give me some more questions? He asked me that he noticed I have a lot of different type of videos. Like I do cell phone let's plays, I do computer let's plays, I do the vlogs, live streaming, traveling live streaming, I talk about just my life in general. I do the AMSR videos. I'm doing unboxings now. I'm going to start to do reviews on Dollar Tree items, which I have 3 set up that I'm going to try to do tomorrow morning. My husband gets out early on Mondays, so he goes in for 8:30. He's home by 10:30. So it makes it kind of hard with only a 2.5-hour doorway to sometimes get things done like that. And I'll show you what it looks like outside. It rained all night. So at almost 6 o'clock in the morning, this is what it looks like. Sunday. And McDonald's is very busy as usual. So I'm going to let everybody go. I hope everybody has a great night. I'm going to be making some roast today that I bought at the supermarket. It's a 7-pound roast. It was about $14. And it is grass-fed only. I got my husband a very expensive steak. That was about $15 just for the steak. It was probably like I want to say a 6-pound steak. And it was grass-fed only, and he loved it. So I figured, well, we have some extra money. We'll try this. So I'm going to cook it in the crock pot. And as soon as it starts to flake away, like I like it, then I'm going to add the vegetables to it. I'm going to make some white rice, and I'm going to make some mashed potatoes so that we can each choose what we'll want. Because what I do is I make it with a lot of gravy so that I can put it over rice or put it over the mashed potatoes. And then I add cheese to it and let it melt. My husband loves it like that. So, good morning, everybody. For everybody that stopped by, thank you very much. It is 6:12. I'm going to let you guys go. I hope you have a wonderful day. And maybe I will vlog in a couple of days for you guys. Just to let you know what's going on. don't really have much to say because I don't have any more grades or anything. But this was something different and new. We haven't gone out. The last time I went out was bowling, and I think that was about 4 or 5 weeks ago. So it's always nice to go out and do things. Bye, everybody. Thank you for watching. Please, any questions for my upcoming third Q&A, please don't hesitate to ask me. I don't care what it is. Thank you, guys. Bye.